Welcome to Good Morning Football. We are presented by Michelin in Times Square. NFL experience in New York City. It is Tuesday, August 21st. My name's Kay. We've got Peter Schrager, Kyle Brandt, Nate Burleson.
Hey now, what's up?
How we living, Nate?
Feeling good, Kay. How you doing?
Good. We got highlights.
We had some football last night.
We got some questions.
We got a lot of questions.
Action. Preseason week 2 wrapped up last night. Kyle, take me to Indy. Leave the horseradish. Leave St. Elmo's. Just give me some highlights.
Not a chance. All highlights. No horseradish, just horse logos and horseshoes.
Hey.
Andrew Luck has not played in front of his home crowd in almost 600 days. So let's give him some fireworks, Andy. What say you? He tried, just a little off early, which is fine. And by the way, the Baltimore defense is really good, so that's okay. There's no shame in that. There's a punt, and here, the Ravens are receiving the punt, and it is fumbled by Tim White, who I hate to see that in the preseason. You want to see guys on special teams make big mistakes. Sometimes they're trying to get jobs, but the Colts fans were fine because he gave the ball back to Luck in the red zone, who's looking, and he wants the touchdown here so bad. He can smell it. He's out, and it's deflected and intercepted by Anthony Levine. Turnover, a little air came out of the stadium. That's fine. It's not the opener. We'll see. Cincinnati comes for the opener. We'll figure that one out. But this is just kind of an ugly play. Not on the same page with receiver, picked off by Levine. And he goes over it with his new head coach. Growing pains, as they say. But here we go. 2nd and 7, next possession. We got it. We got Doyle. And that is his first completion, Andrew Luck.
There we go.
One of those Colts fans in 2 years. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. 2 very enthusiastic thumbs up. Luck now trying to add to this. Let's go to Doyle again. My favorite play of the night. A laser over the middle between 3 defenders as he stepped up in the pocket. That to me is all I need to see from Andrew Luck last night. But he did more. He also had a 3rd and 3. We had a little Chester Rogers, a little route over the middle. Looks good too. Another thumbs up. But here is the problem. This is not the thumbs up. This is the rotten tomato because they didn't protect him. Terrell Suggs not going to sneak up on anybody. 125 career sacks. Peter thinks he's going to the Hall of Fame. They didn't really block him, so he went and sacked Luck. And then again, they got him. So Darius Smith let him off easy here. Thankfully, I think this is quarterback roles, frankly, protecting a quarterback in the preseason. So cheer for that. He doesn't slam him down, but he does get sacked. Joe Flacco. Joe, you're having a hell of a preseason. Why don't you put a little exclamation point on it? He says, I don't mind if I do. I got John Brown here. They call him Smokey. Let's light up the sky. First snap of the game, he lets loose the howitzer. I wanted it. I almost think Colts fans even wanted it. But we didn't get it. They knocked it down. More from the guy they call Smokey later. But I mean, this is a first-team All-Pro throw right here, Nate. I mean, come on, it's a crab on the sideline.
Pump fake it to the right, shifting the safeties. They're hitting the sideline in between the cover 2. Beautiful.
Well, if you like that, Nate, you're going to love this because he's looking. And look what John Brown does in the back of the end. Look what he does. That's supposed to be just a deep threat, a pure vocational deep threat.
All he does is just run deep routes.
No. He did the toe drag. He collected. Flacco signals touchdown like an official, which he might as well be for the rest of the game because he didn't play. Guess who did? The first-round draft pick. Number 32 overall in the 2018 draft. Lamar. Not terribly short.
A little short on that one.
All right, a little short.
All right,
so maybe we compensate.
Let's adjust.
Let's chuck this thing deep. What do we do? Oh, we going deep? Come on, Lamar. Oh, baby, ACC now. Well, how's this one, Nate?
That's a little long.
All right.
Maybe the nerves.
So let's meet in the
first Monday night game.
Yeah, let's screw it. Let's just run. But let's not do this. Oh, get out! Oh, that was ugly. The ball came loose. The helmet hit the ground. This is bad.
That could be a season ender. He's got to get out of bounds or go down here.
I agree.
That's terrible.
He should look to the opposite sideline and realize that Andrew Luck has been through too many of those.
Your quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, look at Robert Griffin he's talking to, of all people, who's writing the book on it. And yet here he is again. I feel like Lamar's very determined to make plays, which I respect. But easy, dude, all right? This is week 3, 2 of the preseason. We're in Indianapolis. Save it.
That's the play why they're keeping Drew.
Nice throw, though.
Yeah. And by the way, that's why they drafted Lamar there, because it's not just running. That's an awesome red zone play. It reminds me of the one Josh Allen made over the weekend.
Yeah.
Waiting, making a play, moving the pocket. That was Lamar. And the Ravens are basically the John Wooden UCLA of preseason football. They have won 11 straight preseason games. But I think the biggest story of the night, in addition to Flacco, was Andrew Luck. Andrew, back in front of those home fans. How do you feel like you played, my friend?
I don't think it's very complicated. It was pretty simple, and we've got some stuff to work on. I mean, we know we do, which is exciting. I mean, it's a fun team. It's a young team. I looked around today and realized, like, man, there are certainly some really solid veteran pieces, but we're a young team, and that just, for us, it takes being out there and doing and messing up and learning from it and going out again and doing it a little better. So I'm very, very encouraged, both one, by how I feel. I feel great, which is, it makes me happy, but then two, the attitude of the guys and going out and playing football.
He's right. It's a young team. The only guy really has chemistry with is T.Y. Hilton out there. Frank Reich spoke after the game and said that there's a lot of penalties. He wasn't happy with the performance as well because Andrew Luck, it was less than stellar in his second outing this preseason. We're still waiting for his first touchdown pass since coming back from injury. Are you guys concerned, though, with what you're seeing out of Luck? Nate?
I'm not concerned with what I'm seeing out of Luck. I'm concerned with what I'm seeing out of the offensive line. And this is a preseason, I get it, and you're not going to kind of open up the playbook, so there could be certain ways that they can call a game that can protect their quarterback. But when you see Andrew Luck on the ground first time, you say, all right, good job. Seeing you bounce back up, you're looking good. Second time in the game, you're like, all right, and then you follow that up with the next game, and he gets sacked again. I don't want to see Luck on the ground. I don't want to see that pressure. Now, here's the thing. Not all of this is on the offensive line. I'm not sitting there taking shots at them because there's times when he dropped back and you either got to get rid of that ball, step up in the pocket, even sack yourself, and just go down. You have to live to play another down. And I go back to this time and time again. Andrew Luck is so good, so athletic, that oftentimes he feels like he can sit up in that pocket and utilize his athletic ability and deliver the ball late. You got to live to play another down if you're Andrew Luck. I don't want to see him on the ground. I don't want to see him taking a necessary hit. So a combination of the offensive line and a combination of Andrew Luck saving himself.
I'm concerned, Kay. Everyone who thinks it's going to be roll out Andrew Luck and it's the MVP, it's going to be a process. This guy hasn't played in close to 600 days. He's got a completely new offense, got all these new players, and he said himself, like, we're a young team. So young, in fact, I don't think he knows many of these guys. And, like, just blue chip-wise, I think T.Y. Hilton's a blue chipper, right? Sure. I think Nelson's a blue chipper. I think Malik Hooker, that might be it. Just look at the last time they were in the playoffs, 2014, his depth chart. Richardson and Bradshaw were guys in the pros. Marlon Mack and Robert Turbin and Naheem Hines. Reggie Wayne was a second wide receiver. Ryan Grant, we don't really know. Chester Rogers from the Steelers.
It's a great full screen.
Look at Quill Jackson was like an all-pro. Vontae Davis. Anthony Walker and Kenny Moore the second, not to be confused with Kenny Moore the first.
Never.
This team, they're a long ways off, and I know Colts fans watching will say, well, you shut up. Now, last year,
Peter, you're bringing me down.
The Jaguars and the Eagles, you didn't know.
Bring me down.
This is not one of the blue chip rosters in the league right now. They might get there, and Andrew Luck, it's going to be a process. I don't expect much from the Colts this year. And I think for Luck, if you're behind that offensive line, just stay healthy. Just try to get to next season because it's not going to happen overnight.
So you're saying that they're just not going to even make the playoffs? They're not going to contend this year?
Don't think this team
your concern has to be in proportion to what your expectations for this team is. So what were your expectations for them?
That's not a roster right now that I think is ready to compete with the big leagues in the AFC.
I feel like people who were concerned, Kyle, were also concerned they wouldn't be throwing the ball in the second preseason or wouldn't be out there in the first preseason, and there he is. I'm not concerned at all because his offensive line. When did he have a great offensive line ever in his career? When he went to the playoffs and he went 11-5. I feel like him being out there, getting hit and getting up makes me feel comfortable. The fact that they're letting him be out there without his left tackle, without Costanzo, without Denzel Good, his right and left tackle aren't on the field. His starting running back, Marlon Mack, isn't out there. T.Y. Hilton, the only guy he has any familiarity with, a guy who went to the Pro Bowl for 4 straight times, I think. Yeah. Or at least 4 times total, wasn't out there either. So I'm not as worried but I think that's what I was asking about expectations. The division's not the same division either. If you stack up the rosters of the divisions back in those years, it's different. So I don't know if I expect them to go to the playoffs, but my expectations were never that he'd come out and be that same guy right away.
And if you put Costanzo and Denzel Good out there, it still means Yannick Ngakoue and Calais Campbell are coming.
Right, look at this. You could say he was young. He was young when he made the playoffs and he never had offensive line. But he also was durable back then.
Yeah.
This is a different version of himself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So him getting hit, I can't say, he's never had offensive line, so I'm okay with it. No, I need him to be protected because when he's healthy, he's one of the best quarterbacks, and you can't stay healthy if you're getting banged up day in and day out.
I think we look at this team through a different lens than some other teams. Like, there's 30 teams, you're like, how are they going to be this season? The Colts are just like, how's Luck going to be this season? I don't know if they're going to win the division. What I'm most important about is Luck going to be back? And these preseason games, we grade them about, well, they didn't have scores in their 3 drives. It's just like, it's just a sweat. It's a workout for Andrew Luck. He showed he took the hit. That throw over the middle to Doyle was like, I'm good there. I know he can play. He's good. And by the way, he's going against one of the best defenses in all the league. That 3rd and 12 to me, this is all I need to see from the entire 2018 preseason. That is the play because I know Andrew Luck is there. And guys, there was a great quote, by the way, from Luck, who was very effusive after the game. He told Mike Wells, I told someone after the game I was actually sort of happy to get sacked by Suggs. I landed on my right elbow reminiscent of how I injured my shoulder. I didn't feel anything, didn't give it a second thought, which means I'm out of my thought bubble.
There you go, it's huge.
That's massive to him. He's between the ears, so I'm not worried about him. Look, as a team, I don't know if they're going to go 12-4, but I think Andrew Luck is going to be Andrew Luck, and that's what I'm interested in.
I want to see him throw deep.
Yeah.
in one of these preseason games. But
We gotta get too wild.
Let it loose.
I'm not worried about it, but I do agree with you. I think you put it perfectly, and that's everybody has to get into their head sort of if they're not there, is that it's a process.
Yeah.
That's 100%.
It's going to be a long build, but once they get where they have to be, the Colts are going to be very tough to beat because Andrew Luck is one of the best in the game.
Young team, like Andrew Luck said post-game. All right, plenty of other stories to get to from around the NFL, including right here in the state of New York, where there could be multiple quarterback controversies a brewing. Let's start with the Jets, guys. Yesterday, GM Mike McCagnon saying the praises of Sam Darnold, calling him, quote, unflappable. That is an adjective right there. But what about Teddy Bridgewater? Here is Giants head coach Pat Shurmur on his former quarterback.
Teddy is an outstanding, competitive guy, and he's got a unique charisma. You know, everybody, like when I was there with him, the whole area loved Teddy. He just had that way about him. And then when he got injured, everybody was pulling for him to come back. And so I'm thrilled for whatever success he's having. I did peek at their game, and he appears to me like he's playing pretty well. And the only thing I would say is don't sleep on Teddy, because I think he's got it in him.
He's been showing that all preseason long. Great stuff from Shurmur there. Meanwhile, drama in Buffalo. Gents, shortly after the Bills announced Josh Allen as their starting quarterback for Sunday's game against the Bengals, our very own Ian Rappaport reported A.J. McCarron did suffer a fractured collarbone. Initially believed he's dating